morning, Mrs. Bryant. We are so delighted to have you join us today, and we appreciate the fact that you have agreed to be interviewed here today for Mary Bryant students so that future students can also see and hear what you have to say about your life and about our school. We actually have a student who has agreed to be the interviewer.
Oh, that's great.
And this is Chris Smart. He's
Good
going
morning,
into
Mr. Smart.
4th grade, and he is going to be asking you some questions. So I hope he doesn't pull any punches and stump you up today.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Bass. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning. Okay. What did you like best about teaching?
The children. That's the main reason I started to teach, because I love children.
What is your favorite childhood memory?
Oh my goodness, I have so many. I think, well, I used to enjoy Sunday school picnics. Isn't that odd? Just think about that. But once a year, we used to go out to a lake in Keystone. And that was a big thing for me because we didn't have swimming pools and places like that to go when I was a little girl. So after school, we'd enjoy school, but we would look forward to the summer to go that one day out to Keystone Lake. But I loved school.
Have you always lived in Tampa?
Yes, sir. I was born here, and I attended the schools here, and I still live here.
What things have changed since you started teaching?
Oh, so many things, so many new schools. When I first started teaching, I only taught black children because black children and white children did not go to school together. So that changed while I was a teacher. The children started to go into school together, and black and white teachers started to teaching together. That was called desegregation, and that was good. That's one of the major changes that happened when I was teaching.
Are children different today from when you started teaching?
I don't know, Chris. I don't think so. As I told Miriam, Miss Bass, right now Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I do like a couple of hours of chaperoning or volunteering with the kindergarten school, 3 and 4 year old. They're about just like you guys used to be. They're like my children used to be. So I enjoy them, especially the boys. You know, I'm glad you all have a boy interviewing me, because I have 3 sons. And then all together we have 9 grandchildren, and 7 of them are boys. I have 7 great-grandchildren, and 5 of those are boys, so I have 9 boys.
Are any of your children teachers?
Yes, I have one that's a teacher. Well, really 2. I have one that's a teacher. He taught the bad guys, the alternative
ed.
Yeah, the alternative ed students. But now he's called a student intervention specialist at Roland Park. So he did teach. Well, he taught good guys at Morgan. He taught 3rd and 4th grade. Then he started teaching alternative ed, and now he's the intervention specialist at Roland Park. And I have another son that works in the College of Medicine at USF. He does not teach the med students, but he tests the med students when they do the simulations and other things like that. And my other son is an engineer in Lincoln County.
What schools and colleges did you attend?
Okay. I attended a school in Tampa. My elementary school was Dobyville, and it's no longer there. And well, Carver is Carver still there, Miss Bass?
Yeah, I believe it.
And I attended Carver in junior high school, and that's not there anymore. And I attended Middleton Senior High. Now that's where Farrell is now. And then I went to Brazilian Cookman College for 4 years, and then I went to the I went to Florida A&M for my master's degree. Then I went to University of South Florida for what's called an ed specialist degree. So I've been to a lot of them.
What job did you have in the school system?
I was a teacher for many years. I taught first grade. When I taught in Okeechobee, Florida, Miss Bass, people talk about class size. I taught 42 first and second graders my first 3 years of teaching.
My goodness.
And I was glad to come to Tampa. Then when I came back home, I taught first grade. Did you say what grades did I teach?
No. What
need-
job did you have in
My
the school
jobs,
system?
okay. I taught, I was a teacher. I was assistant principal. I was a principal. Then I was an area director. And when I retired, I was an assistant superintendent.
My aunt was an assistant principal too, I think.
She was? Good. What, do you know what school?
At the school.
At this school?
Mhm.
Oh, good. That's great.
How did it feel to be named after a school?
It's a real honor. And my children, I think, were the ones that had the idea, along with my secretary and some other people. But it's a real honor to have a school named after me, because that means to me that my name will be around for a little while when I'm gone. One little child asked me a good while back, how did this happen? Because I was supposed to be dead, but I'm not dead. They say, I thought he was going to say that. They say when you die, they name things after you, but I'm so glad they named the school after me before I died. I'm really proud, and I'm proud of this school especially because it is a spotlight in this community.
Okay. What advice will you give a current and future student at Mary Bryant Elementary?
Work hard, listen to teachers, be respectful of yourself first. And then if you listen and do what the teachers tell you and listen to what they're saying to you, you'll learn a lot. And don't let other children pull your attention away from what you're supposed to be learning, because once you get it in your head, nobody can take that away from you, no matter what happens to you. If you listen and you learn how to do things, that's how you can pass all these tests and all that stuff, if you pay attention. Because the teachers are trying very hard. They work really hard trying to get children to learn. And the best thing I want to tell you guys to do is study hard and listen and be respectful. And you'll go a long ways when you do that.
Why did you decide to become a teacher?
I decided to become a teacher because I really loved children. This same kindergarten, incidentally, is the one that the owner has passed on, but as a child, when I was like 9 or 10 years old, I was learning to play the piano, and she needed somebody to play the march for her kindergarten children. So my music teacher taught me how to play a march, so the kids could march back and forth. And this lady, quote, hired me to come work in the kindergarten during the summer. And that made me say, I know I can do what they're doing. I want to teach.
What did you like best about teaching?
I think we've been there before. I like the children.
Okay.
And all the people that I had to work with, I just enjoy working with the children and watching them grow, watching them learn. When I see children now, or young people now that I taught or that I touched, I see them doing great things. doctors, lawyers. That makes me really proud when I see people that I taught doing good things.
I have a question of my own.
Okay.
Well, how many years did you teach for?
Okay. I was in the school system 42 years. And of those 42, let's see, I was at the district office 14 years. I can't subtract and count how many years I was at a school site, but altogether I touched the lives, I hope, of young people for 42 years.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask?
No.
I would like
Thank
to
you so
ask
much.
you a question.
Uh-huh.
Recently, they dug up that car that had been buried for 50 years like a time capsule. Do you remember
I
that?
saw it on the news.
What would you put in a time capsule so that people would remember you if somebody gave you the opportunity to do that? What would you say would represent you and your life?
Other than a picture.
Well, I guess things that would maybe be important or would represent your life.
That's a good question, Karen. I think a picture of my entire family. We take a lot of snapshots. We have a lot of fun taking pictures, but I don't know whether I have everybody. Like I have 3 sons, and the 3 of them are married. And we have 9 grandchildren, and then we have 7 great-grands. Quite often I have the 3 sons and part of their children, 5 of the children, but I don't have a picture of everybody, and I'd like to have a picture of everybody put together somewhere with us somewhere near Mary Bryant Elementary. That would be, I think, on a little scroll or something that's saying that I taught children and that I loved children. I think that's probably the main thing, a picture maybe, and then a scroll or something that said that I was a teacher.
I think that's great, and I just want to tell you that you've said several times how pleased and proud you are to have the school named after you.
Yes.
And I think we wanted to do this interview today because we want to be able to show students throughout the years, as we show this at the beginning as an inspiration, that not only that you are proud that the school is named after you, but how we are very proud of you for everything you accomplished in your life. You certainly had a life of service to boys and girls particularly, and of course their parents. But you distinguished yourself in your career, and we are very proud to have Mary Bryant Elementary named after someone as distinguished and kind as you are.
Thank you, and a workaholic.
Well, but that goes with the job, doesn't it?
I asked Chris if he were going to play baseball. Another part of my life is sports, youth sports. I volunteered with West Tampa Little League for years, all while my youngsters were playing Forest Heights Little League, Police Athletic League, all of those. And I like worked till 5 o'clock and then ran home and made French fries in the afternoon, or when I got the Gatorade, or when I got the ice, and also supported Jefferson High School too. And right now I still have youngsters that my great-grandchildren and grandchildren are participating now. I have a granddaughter that hopefully people will be reading about soon. She's a top sprinter. And the granddaughter that Mary knows that was ill is a softball player at Jefferson. 3 of my grandsons are in college, play football. All of them played football in high school, but just 2 are playing football in college. And a great-grandson is in college. So we really